got quite the pitchers matchup tonight with Bob Miller and Zack. What are you looking forward about this matchup?
I think for me, it's obviously Zack's one of the best pitchers in the game, and I think for me to see Bobby step his game up, I thought it's fun to play against the best, compete against the best, and this is a great ballpark, a great baseball city, and so to see Bobby's game elevate, he's coming off a pretty good one, and so just see an uptick in performance, it should be good.
Considering just how much success Zack has had, what's going to be a key to success just for your offense to get going?
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task with Wheeler. He throws strikes. It's big stuff. It's a big fastball. It's a breaking ball in there. And so I think you just try to be aggressive with them and get on that fastball. And a lot of glove side fastballs. So again, he's one of the best in the game, and hopefully he makes some mistakes and we can capitalize.
You guys have a roster move?
Yeah, we're gonna activate recall Michael Peterson. Tyler just had some back stuff get tightened up on him on Sunday. So obviously we can retro him. Don't know when he's going to start after the break, but it shouldn't be too much further after the second half.
Any double back stuff?
It's the big body guy. I think and so sometimes it's there, then it's not. But I think budding up to the All-Star break, we just wanted to get ahead.
He's pretty close to a career high innings pitch. Like, how much were you guys already going to bake in maybe a time off for him this year?
It just sort of lined up with the All-Star break, so we've obviously been thinking about that with no real idea when it might or might not happen. But with the back flare-up, we just felt this is a good time.
How much of the way he's pitched recently factored in?
No, none. We expected him to make the start on Thursday, but with the back flare-up, then it just kind of made sense.
What he's had to do? What do you do?
Well, Knack's going to start on Thursday, and then we just got to kind of figure out over the weekend. I don't know.
Rebelski's still here? Is he going to start?
What's that?
Rebelski is still here?
He is. So we haven't completely decided that yet. But yeah, he's still here.
With Tyler, obviously he's had a lot of injuries over his career. Does that add a level of concern at all when something like this does pop up, or are you pretty confident that this is going to be an isolated thing for him?
I think it's going to be isolated. And again, I think that, if it wasn't for the All-Star break, there might have been a thought to kind of see if we can make the start or kick him to Friday, but with the break, it just made no sense.
Is he going to get any imaging or
No,
scans?
not that I know.
And it just tightened up on him while he was playing catch.
Playing catch, correct, on Sunday. Yep.
Dave, with Bobby, this year he's throwing the four-seamer obviously a lot more than he did last year. With some success the last time out. But I'm wondering, do you want to see a greater mix and a mix closer to what he did last season?
It's a fair question. I think that for me, I'm a big advocate of the two fastballs if you can command them. I think that they play as two different pitches, the four-seamer along with the two-seamer. I wasn't too aware of the lack of usage as far as the two-seamer. So it's something I'm sure our pitching guys will keep it on. But yeah, I think that to be able to use both, versus left, versus right in a certain circumstance, I think is very important.
So less of having targets and more just looking for a greater variety in your mind?
Yes, absolutely.
And then Dave, continuing with Bobby, you mentioned, you haven't gotten consistency out of him. He has more walks than he has strikeouts right now. But you go back to that start against the D-backs, we saw him kind of turn a page. What are you expecting, with the Philly heat here, the crowd, and then do you, last season when he pitched at this ballpark, he did pretty well. Are you expecting, a better performance this time out, or do you think he can play up to the task?
I definitely think he can play up to the task. The heat is going to be it's going to be a test. Obviously, this lineup is very deep, so he's going to have command. They feast on walks. They feast on slug. So being able to get strike one is going to be very important too.
Yeah, and then the Phillies activated, two of their best hitters today, to get ready for this series. Is there any way you want to attack those guys, even with Miller? I feel like he wants to get ahead in the count, but you can't leave anything down the plate. But
I think these guys have been off for a minute. Obviously, they're better with them in the lineup. I think for me, it's you just got to go at them because if you start kind of pitching too careful and letting them gather information, seeing more pitches within an at bat, they're only going to get better. So for me, the more pitches they see, advantage goes to them, and I think that's with any hitter. So it just speaks to just attacking and getting ahead and using his pitch mix.
Dave, you obviously seen Miguel Rojas has been a contact guy throughout his career, but this year the numbers are somehow better than ever. I think he's swung and missed at 7 four-seamers all season. Percentages the lowest of his career in terms of swings and misses. What do you see him doing, and how rare is it to see somebody, at this point in his career, find another level?
Very rare. A lot of times hitters are kind of who they are, especially when they get later in their career. Credit to Miggy and the hitting guys. They worked on his swing sometime in April, which really, for me, made a big difference. He's been very good versus right-handed pitching, better than he's ever been. Versus left-handed pitching, he's slugging more with the doubles. He's a tough out, and so he's earned the right to hit in the middle of the order. And losing some guys offensively that we've lost, Miggy's picked up a lot of slack.
And I know you talked about how hard it would be to get him out of the lineup, even when you are back at full strength. But I just wonder how much the fact that he's doing this damage as a veteran against four-seam fastball is indicating to you this is a guy who really can play every day for you down the stretch this summer.
Well, he's going to have to play for us every day down the stretch. He's earned it. And I just feel good now because of what he's shown me that, every time he's in the box, I feel he's going to put together a good at bat and get a hit.
You got a plan for Clayton going forward? Yeah.
I think the plan is he's going to start. I think it's for OKC. I think they're on the road on Saturday, and the plan is 3 innings, and so that's kind of the first step on the rehab.
So you want to do 4 and then possibly
Then 4,
get
then
back.
we'll have the conversation.
There's a series of pitchers, the guy that you guys don't have right now. I thought we were kind of looking at it in the CS preview. You guys about Max, but then you still want to kind of test yourself out against it.
I think I look at it as the same as that Brewer series. Just kind of continuing to gather information. It's obvious they're obviously a very good ball club, and I like the way they play. And so, regardless of who we have, who we don't have, we still got to go out there and play to win. And I'm looking forward to this series.
How familiar does this juggling act starting pitching with you? You getting PTSD from last year? I never knew.
It's interestingly enough, I'm unfazed by it, and you just kind of pick up the piece or whatever piece you have, and you kind of readjust, and and you move forward. So our guys are being very nimble, and even for Landon, expecting to start on Friday, but then now he's going to start on Thursday. So that's different, right? And so I give our guys a lot of credit for being nimble. And all the credit goes to them. But I think for us, for me, it's just keep, whatever guys we have ready, try to win a baseball game. But it's certainly not ideal. But my job is to keep this thing, moving forward.
You see Yamamoto might catch this week.
That's the plan. So today's Tuesday. I'll check in, and I think we're still sticking to that plan. I'm not sure which day, but yeah, he's supposed to play Kansas this week.
Did you expect to have a break for Glasnow at some point like this?
I would say, organizationally speaking, probably yes. But again, there was really no time we felt that was a good stopping point. So we were continuing to run the play out. So I don't know if blessing in disguise is the right term, but it does give them a little reset. It obviously will kind of curb some innings, and hopefully the back will be ready to go the rest of the way.
Is there a rough innings total you guys want to keep
I don't
under?
think so. I just don't think it makes sense because I don't think it's an exact science. I really don't. Whether it's 140, it's 160, it's 180. I don't think. No, we don't.
Outside of the back, at least shown age for physical science and fatigue or anything?
No. And even looking at his stuff, there's still 97s, 98s. When he flips the slider right, the slider's still really good. The curveball characteristics still good. The velocity of the curveball, arm speed, the body, all that stuff is still holding. But the execution at times hasn't been good.
So was this something just recently that you guys say you felt something that's bad?
Yeah, that was Sunday, and kind of figuring out if we should kick the can to Thursday or Friday, and then ultimately, before we got on the airplane, just felt it was the best thing to do at that point in time.
Organizationally, is that what you guys typically do? It's about pitch execution and making sure rather than an innings limit?
Yeah, I mean, pitch execution and how his body's feeling. You have a lot of data now that you can kind of see how the fastball is still playing and how his body's moving.
With Glad,
The half going up in the season, and first few weeks, I think Shohei struggled or challenging things with not only a Dodgers baseball. How do you evaluate him so far for their first half?
A solid A. Shohei's been great. He has bought into what we do as an organization, what we do as an offense. He's a great player, obviously. He's an equally great teammate, and I love, obviously being able to write his name in the lineup every night. He's been fun to watch.
But the technical wise, like you mentioned, if that was went to the beam and he's on the second, he has to pay attention to the third, making sure to those things. Is he more careful, paying more close attention?
I think so. Shohei's never been in a pennant race. And so I think that now that he is in a pennant race, I think that the little things, taking a 3-2 pitch off the edge for a walk like he did on Sunday, and not swinging at it, stealing a base when you need it, taking the extra base, moving a guy over when you need to get a guy over, like he's doing all that stuff. And I just don't think that when you're not in a pennant race, the games just don't seem as important. But I think he understands how important every game is for us now.
So he's getting sharp and thinking about the each.
He is.
and then with Glasnow out now, are we going to start pushing the Gavin Stone narrative to go to Arlington and replace him?
I'm in. Push it. I hope so. They're going to have to replace Tyler, and who better than one of his teammates. So I think that Gavin's had a tremendous all-star first half, and so I would love if Gav had that opportunity. Thanks, guys. Let's go.